like, subscribe, and share. Now let's get straight to it. Caucasian Americans have always been scared of the United States government. Easily manipulated, they always acquiesce and do what they are told. Always. All the gains made in the United States of America can be attributed to Hebrew Israelites. Not only did we build this country, we gave Caucasians their civil rights. Okay, let me give you the first specific example. Hebrew Israelite Muhammad Ali was called the people's champ because he fought against the draft. He gave up 3 years of his career to get rid of the draft. No Caucasian American did it. All they did was look for an escape, a place to run to, and they ran up to Canada. They ran to Canada. Muhammad Ali stood and fought, and that's why he was called the people's champ. He was a Hebrew Israelite, and he saved the lives of thousands of Caucasian Americans because they did not have to go to the draft against their will. Am I lying? The question is rhetorical because you know why he was called the people's champ. Not the black American champ, Hebrew Israelite champ. He was called the people's champ because he defeated the United States government and got rid of the draft. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and the draft is nothing but a form of slavery. The draft is a form of slavery where you are forced to do something against your will. But before I go past this, the draft, it was Muhammad Ali who supported white college students. Muhammad Ali supported white college students and took their fight to the government. See, right now, white college students are protesting and supporting the Palestinians and doing the best they can to stop the genocide. But see, right now, they don't have a black Hebrew Israelite leader to lead them into the battle, and they are on their own. Where are their white parents who Muhammad Ali protected from the draft? Where are they? Scared. If I'm wrong, then white Caucasian parents, protect your children. Support your children. Now, yeah, I'm saying white people, Caucasians were slaves because white Caucasian athletes wore shirts that said property of whatever team they played for. Those shirts said property of, and they wore those shirts proudly. And they didn't want black men to get into their league. They didn't want black men in Major League Baseball, football, basketball, or anything else. They wanted to wear those shirts that said property of that particular team. Well, guess what? Jackie Robinson broke in. Then other black athletes broke in. Then an athlete named Curt Flood broke in. You see, but these black athletes were treated like SHIT. But the owners wanted them in there because they made the game exciting. The way they would jump off the base, stealing bases, things of this nature. Made the game exciting. But they did something else. They refused to wear shirts that said property of. They fought for free agency to play where they wanted to play. Curt Flood fought for free agency to free himself and not have to wear a shirt that said property of that white men were so happy to wear. And Curt Flood, his career was damaged. He suffered to bring free agency to athletics, sports in the United States and all around the world. A black Hebrew Israelite did that, but the white players were scared to do that. And then when their masters, when they got free agency, their masters said, jump on Curt Flood, he's your enemy. And they willingly served their master. You see, you wear a shirt that says property of, that means you are a slave. And they wore it proudly and didn't want black men to be the property of their white masters. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Now, check this out. In Iowa, these white middle-class farmers are about to be ripped off. They're about to be ripped off. They have planted their potatoes, and now the government tells them, you can't have water. We're going to cut your water. Because of this law that was signed that benefits corporations. We're going to cut your water. And it's not fair. It's not fair at all. But are they trying to change the law? No, they're not trying to change the law. See, a black farmer would try to change that law. And then they could get behind that black farmer and support him. But they're going to go to their governor and beg him to change the law, to beg him to find a way around the law instead of just changing it, because it isn't fair. But see, they're scared. They're scared to try to change it. You see, their white masters just tell them, hey, this is the law. There's nothing we can do about it. And they acquiesce, scared, and say, okay, master. Okay, white master. Then they got the nerve to talk about black people who always stood up to their white masters. We stood up to their white masters so they don't have to be, so now they don't have to be forced into the draft. We stood up to their white masters. Now they don't have to wear uniforms that say property of, and they can switch teams and go to where they want to play. But then now Major League Baseball is kicking black people out, is kicking Hebrew Israelites from America out of baseball because of the free agency. And they have put a cap. Now teams have put a cap on how much of the profits can be paid to the players. And the white players, they just go for it. They just go for it. They don't stand up to nothing because they're scared. And the Iowa farmers, they're getting ready to be ripped off. The banks are going to own their property unless they sell out to corporations, unless they sell out to Bill Gates, who's buying up all the land he can so he can control the food, unless they sell out to Elon Musk and other people like that, other billionaires, who they who they just acquiesce to, the guys might as well be their masters because they don't stand up for nothing. Only thing that white Americans stand up to is black people. Beating up on black people is what they love to do. Standing up against the people that are their true enemies, that work against them, they love them. They love Reagan. And what did Reagan do? Cut the rich taxes from 70% to 23% and made billionaires. And then Reagan taxed their Social Security and took away their tax deductions for new car purchases and tax deductions from their credit card. Now, when Trump comes into office, he's going to wipe out tax deductions for your homes to pay off the deficit for wars that you don't even want, that your children are against. Not only is he going to pay off increased taxes for that, figure it out. Figure it out. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I got to tell you all everything. Figure out the rest and fight to change. Whatever you do, don't vote for Trump. And then I'm out of here. I'm out.